Michigan governor and local tyrant Gretchen Whitmer is calling for Sidney Powell and 3 other lawyers attached to the Kraken lawsuit in Michigan to be disbarred. Yes, they are going after their law licenses for daring to question the good authority of the state. But that is what they're doing to prove that there was no corruption. They are attacking their political enemies. And this is, of course, a political attack. Make no mistake. No matter what you think of Sidney Powell and the Kraken lawsuits, and you can certainly be critical of them, I'm critical of them in many ways, especially since they ultimately ended up completely flopping and being withdrawn. I have my critiques. But whatever you think of Sidney Powell and those lawyers, you have to understand that Gretchen Whitmer is a vindictive and awful governor and is going after them entirely on political means. But this is news of the day in Michigan and Detroit, where corruption has run rampant forever. In fact, there's actually an interview on my channel where I interviewed someone who went to the training in Detroit to be a vote counter and recorded the training session. We played that recording on this show, and in that recording, it was discovered that they were training their vote counters to use coronavirus and social distancing as excuses to intentionally prevent election observers from being able to observe the vote count. Yes, you heard me on that, and I will stick with it. Not only did that happen, the Republicans actually got off their butts for once and filed a lawsuit in advance of the election. And in a last-minute agreement, the Democrats settled with the Republicans and said that they wouldn't do it. This was a big victory. I've covered all this on my channel. However, the grand irony, of course, is that they did it anyway. But these allegations are unconnected to the Kraken lawsuit and the allegations in that suit. This is different than that. The Kraken lawsuit was about Dominion. This lawsuit, where they actually prevailed in a settlement, even though the settlement wasn't honored, that was not related to Dominion or vote switching or anything like that. That was entirely about the actual conduct of the election counters. And that was ostensibly a victory, but just a paper victory at the end of the day. I'll link that live stream in the at the end of this video if you want to check it out. It is a long video because it is a full interview with lots of audio. But that being said, corruption is nothing new to Michigan or Detroit specifically, and Gretchen Whitmer is fully immersed in the corrupt nature of it. I mean, heck, this is the woman who implemented some of the most strict and unconstitutional lockdown measures in the entire country, and they're in Michigan. They're in Michigan, not any place where coronavirus was running rampant, but in the middle of the country where coronavirus has, while it has been serious, has been completely different from places like New York and California. But that being said, she still did implement those procedures, except when she and her family wanted to go on vacation, she lifted those measures only on the place where she wanted to go, though. And her husband was caught on a recorded phone call trying to use his status as husband of the governor to get the marina to prepare their boat in time for the holiday. Yes, this happened because Gretchen Whitmer is, like I said, a tyrant. And again, no matter what you think about Sidney Powell or the Kraken lawsuits, we need to come together on the idea that Gretchen Whitmer is terrible, a horrible governor who needs to be removed from office. However, she has joined with Attorney General Nessel and Secretary of State Benson in seeking disbarment of the attorneys. And I'm including the link here because you can actually read the complaints below. But the main gist of the complaints against these attorneys is that they, quote unquote, knowingly supported and filed a frivolous lawsuit. They're calling the Kraken lawsuit frivolous. And as evidence for that, they are using things that, again, I've been critical of and others have as well, where they had affidavits with just incorrect statements, whether those were intentionally false statements or flat out incorrect. Some of them were pretty egregious, including listing the vote totals for Michigan counties. However, those counties were actually Minnesota counties, not Michigan counties, and they're saying that the attorneys should have done more due diligence in checking on these affidavits. But that being said, that will remain up to the decisions of the local in Michigan attorney ethics board and the same one down in Texas in regards to Sidney Powell. She is not an attorney licensed in Michigan. They cannot go after her in Michigan for disciplinary action. They can go after her down in Texas, but that will be, its own sort of proceeding, and they will have to reckon with Sidney Powell. Frankly, I would rather be in Texas dealing with this than in Michigan myself, but, you get the cards that are drawn. So, whatever the case is, this to me looks entirely political. They're going after their political opponents, and this is what the Democrats have been doing in 2021 all across the nation. There's nothing surprising about this action. Attack your political enemies because they dared to question your virtue. And virtue is currency in current year. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about Sidney Powell and about these Kraken lawsuits? What do you think about going after them? It's amazing. We can all hold different positions on these things and have intelligent discussion about it without calling for the blood or political or legal or financial or employment deaths of our opponents. In this case, I think that the Kraken lawsuits are a little bit of a disappointment. I would have liked to see something happen with them, but nothing really did. And there were severe problems with those affidavits. While whatever the quality of the allegations within the lawsuits themselves, the affidavits and the experts were lacking. And those are parts of the reasons that the cases were dismissed. Or not dismissed, but ultimately withdrawn for not getting not achieving their goals in a timely manner. Once the inauguration happened, there was really no point in maintaining them. So, those are my criticisms there. As for Sidney Powell, I don't know that she was intentionally supporting a lawsuit that she thought was frivolous. It kind of seems like Sidney Powell believed that her lawsuit had merit, and she filed several of them. To say that she knowingly filed frivolous lawsuits is a little bit disingenuous, in my opinion. Again, whatever you think of Sidney Powell, I don't think that she was intentionally doing anything frivolous. I think she was sticking by what she believed in. And attorneys are allowed to make unpopular arguments. That's actually part of our job, is to attempt to rectify a situation, even when the situation may be popularly supported, as it were. So that's what we do. But again, I'm asking for what you guys think. Drop a comment down below. Also, if you like this comment, please like, share it, subscribe it, get people talking about these situations. Let's know what's going on in the country. Oh, and by the way, on one final note, Governor Whitmer is a tyrant and needs to be out of office. Peace. Peace.